This is a letter to my three possible kids. You're possibly my kids. First thing is first, there has never been a paternity test on either one of you. And I would say your names in this, but to protect you, I won't. However, I will say this. To my firstborn, your mom was never honest with me. And what I mean by that is she told me she could never get pregnant. And so I believed her. Now, I'm not calling her a liar. That's not why I'm saying she's dishonest. I'm just saying that that's what happened, okay? And you're not an accident because I really liked your mother a lot. I was not in love with her, but I loved her very much so, and she knew this. She knew this. And that's why she chose to leave me because whenever I admitted to her that I liked her and that I do love her, and I meant it every time I said I love her, but that I wasn't in love with her because we hadn't known each other that long. It broke her heart and she left. She left state. She just left me high and dry. And she left me with another man. They both traveled across states, state to state to state to state, from Nevada to Minnesota. Okay? That's several states with another man that I'd have never met in my life. So she gets to this other state. She doesn't talk to me for a few weeks. And I'm wondering if she's even okay because she has told me beforehand that there are going to be blizzards and she's going to be driving through the snow. And I've driven through the snow before. So I know exactly what that's like. And it's very scary and you could die doing that. And I was very worried about her. For 2 weeks, I was stressing day in and day out, wondering if she was okay. No word from her. Finally, she tells me, she signs on online and she tells me, hey, I'm pregnant. And this is all within the first message. Hey, I'm pregnant and I decided that you're going to have nothing to do with the kid because, and I don't remember why, and she had decided against us ever knowing each other until you were old enough, which means you're 18. So 18 whole years she wants to go by before you and I ever meet each other. And she's going to lie to you and tell you that somebody else is your dad. Now, there was one chance where she had invited me to go all the way to that state to see you and her. Now, the reason I chose not to do that is because I had asked her, is she going to pay for it? I didn't have the money. I didn't have a job. I had been searching for work, and it just never happened like that. There's a lot that happened that prevented me from being able to gain successful income and gainful employment. And it was hard. It was not easy. It's still not easy for me today. It's not easy at all, but I still try anyways. I'm still trying. Here it is, all these years later. That was back in like 2005. And here it is, 2019. It's, it's so long. It's so long ago. And I had contacted her. I was going to join as a Navy SEAL. And so I had done pre-training with a kid on base. With a kid, not in a class, not in a school, but with a kid. And I have specified this over and over, but people still harass me about it. They want to disrespect me and the training that I have, and it's not okay. But it's not about that. It's not about me. This is about the story that I'm telling to you. So I was going to join as a Navy SEAL, but I found out that you can't have anything to lose to become a Navy SEAL. You have to basically wait until you are a Navy SEAL and all this to start settling down and have a family. This is just what I was told by recruiters and people like that. There were several people that told me this. And so instead of trying to waste my time, because I only wanted to join to become a Navy SEAL, that's it. And it's not easy. It is not easy going through that training and trying to make it as a Navy SEAL by at least just by the end of the full boot camp training for that. Now, I didn't do boot camp training. I did 1 day of preparatory training. It was a personalized course, and we did that. We did the underwater training. We did everything, the whole physical thing. I walked away feeling like $1,000,000 and sore and tired. I didn't want to do anything for the whole week after that. But that day, that very day that I went and took the training on the base, I called your mom and I asked her, "Is she mine?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, then never mind." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, okay, am I on the birth certificate?" Now, keep in mind, back then I was young. I was like, what, 25? I was 25 years old at the time. I didn't know no better. I'd never had a kid before. I didn't know how this works. I didn't know how the hospital works whenever you have a kid. Well, point of it being is she tells me yes, that I'm on the birth certificate. And she flat out lied and told me yes. Keep in mind, I'm inexperienced and I don't understand what she's telling me, right? I don't understand everything that's involved with that whole process of being on the birth certificate. I didn't know you had to be present. I didn't know you had to declare, that you are the parent. I didn't know this, okay? That's what I mean. Well, she then tells me that, yes, you're on the birth certificate. I said, okay, then never mind. She goes, well, what? And I was like, never mind. Just don't worry about it. It doesn't concern you. Because I didn't want her finding out. It was none of her business. She took off. She ran away from me. Anything that goes on in my life after that point is none of her business. But she gets the answer out of me, and I say, well, all right, I was going to join as a Navy SEAL, and I can't join if, I'm her dad. And she says, well, no, then you're not on the birth certificate. Keep in mind, inexperienced with this, had no experience with it at all. So I don't know what the truth is. I don't know if the first one was the truth that she had told me, that I am on the birth certificate, or if I'm not on the birth certificate. No idea. So I don't know what to believe. I don't know, and the person I'm with, he's got no idea. He doesn't know how that works either. He's younger than me. And he went to the training with me. And like I said, this was like an hour afterwards. We went out to eat. So we were hungry. We went out to the Outback. We had steaks. We had a steak dinner. And it was great. But that's besides the point. The point of this is that she had been lying to me now. And it made me question everything she had ever told me up until that point, including the fact that she said that she couldn't get pregnant. Did she know that she could get pregnant and tried to get pregnant anyways? Did she trick me into having you? If you're even mine. And until the paternity test proves it, I don't know. Now, in defense of your mother, I don't know what to say. She took me in. She took me into her place. I was losing the apartment that I was living in. And she took me into her place, me and a friend who made music together, and I was managing his band. And we lived with her. And she lost her place because of advice that I had given her. I said to just do something. Spend the money on a card. Well, it wasn't her card. It was a company card. And she knew better than to not spend it, and she did it anyways. She got fired because of that. She had to leave. She had to leave the spot that she was living in because her boss owned it. He kicked her out. Didn't serve her an eviction or anything. Just kicked her out, and she said okay. She didn't try to smooth things over or nothing. She just ran away. She wanted to move in with me, and that's whenever I told her, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. But I let her know that she could move in. She didn't want to do that. She didn't want to be with me like that. Now, all this time later passes, way after that, okay? And she wants me to come and be there with you. Well, after she had been lying to me, and it was clear, the evidence, the facts were clear that she had lied to me, I didn't trust her enough to go out there, especially with no money. And she wasn't willing to pay for it, but wanted me to come out there. Wanted to act like she was doing the right thing, and there was clearly something else involved. She wanted something else out of it, because right after that didn't work out, that situation where she offered for me to come out there while you were still a baby, she turned around and got married right after that. Met somebody and got married like that. It was no time after we had that conversation that she turned around and married somebody, some stranger, some strange man, and put him around you. And God knows what has happened to you since you've been growing up, since you've been born. I don't know. I've never met you. Now, see, she had a friend that felt really bad for me, and she sent me baby pictures of you, and that's the closest I've ever been to you. And then I found her on Facebook because I got tired of waiting 18 years, and I tried to contact her. But before I did, I made sure that I found pictures of you because I wanted to see, do you look like me? I don't know. I really don't know. You kind of look like my uncle, but you also kind of look like the guy that she took off with. So I don't know. Until we have a paternity test, I don't know. I don't know if you're my daughter or not, and I don't know if I'm your dad. I don't know. But this is my confession to you, to my middle child. Your mom, she wasn't the greatest person to begin with. She liked to drink, and she liked to, we'll just say, party hard. She liked to do drugs, is what I'm trying to get at. And she was doing them while you were in her stomach. Both you and your younger daughter. I know that you're probably too young to understand this right now at the time of this recording, but she was on methamphetamines while she was pregnant with you, and I caught her. She denied it, and I knew it was true that she was on drugs while you were a baby. I didn't know what to do because she was the only source of income. She encouraged me to stay home and not work. She said, it's fine. I'm a nurse. I make lots of money. We'll be okay. I believed her. And I tried to pursue my musician career, which she did not support. She didn't support me being a musician. She didn't support any of my creativity at all. I write stories. She didn't support that either. So in other words, basically, I'm a creative writer, and I'm also a singer-songwriter, and she doesn't support that at all. She didn't want me being on any kind of TV shows. She didn't want any part of that. But you were part of that. You were part of one of my auditions to Hell's Kitchen, which is a show where I would have gone to compete to be a chef for Gordon Ramsay on TV. Yep, do you remember that? You sat right next to me. And we did a video. I miss that day. I always think about that day all the time. How you were helping me get the camera centered, and so you were sitting in the spot that I was supposed to sit in. And then I got the camera centered, and then we started the video. And you watched me do the video. After we sat down and we did an intro, I don't even remember if I used it or not, but you sat down and you watched Daddy do his audition. It was cool. It was cool to have you there to do that with me. It was a cool experience. I'd never had kids in my life. Well, one time, your mom decided she wants to go visit the drug dealer. And I told her not to do it. Stop visiting him. We've got kids now. Stop visiting him. She chose to want to go anyway, so she kept going to visit him. And I said, well, I'm not going. You can go if you want to, but I'm not going. She went anyways. She went by herself. And that's where I take an educated guess and say that bad things happened to her. That's probably how you were born. I'll just say that. And I am very thankful for being able to have you in my life. You are just so amazing, you know? And to my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter, don't think that you're not amazing either. It's just that I don't know you like I know my middle child. And I say she's my middle child, whether I'm the real dad or not, because I raised you. Jonathan didn't raise you. But one time, she basically, she took me, your younger sister, and her over to Jonathan's house, who I think your dad is. And we were leaving, and he says, "Take care of my kids." I turned around and I said, "What did you say?" "What did he say, Ashley?" "Nothing, come on, let's go. He's just kidding." "Oh, really? He's kidding, right?" "Oh, okay. Cool. I'll remember that." And that day has haunted me ever since. He did drugs right in front of your little sister. Yes, he did drugs in front of you, young one, little one, the youngest. I'm not proud of that day. I'm not proud of your mom. Your mom let you watch. Your mom let you watch him do drugs in front of us. And I looked at her, I'm like, "Ashley, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this?" Like, hello? Why did you even bring us here? You know I don't want to come here. You know I don't want to be here. And so she covered your eyes. But it was already too late. You had already seen what you saw and you were looking at him. I watched you watch him. And I got very upset and I was ready to leave. I didn't want to be there in the first place. But there was drama unfolding. And so basically I was asked to help figure it out in so many words. Now they didn't ask me to help them, but they were presenting the problem to me. And so I was trying to solve it for them. Okay, well, whatever. Well, then maybe it was this, maybe it was that. No, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. And he was obviously upset. But it wasn't my problem. I didn't care. I just wanted to get the heck out of there. I just wanted to go home and I wanted to see you girls and just live our happy family life. But our family life wasn't so happy. Your mom was very abusive towards me. She would argue with me until I would yell, and my middle daughter can probably remember and recall those moments. Yeah, you probably remember all the times Daddy was yelling at Mommy because Mommy wouldn't stop harassing him. Mommy wouldn't stop abusing him. Your mom jumped on top of me, tried choking me out one time. And all I did was say something funny, and it was a joke, and I was laughing. And she, if you've ever seen the movie The Water Boy, water boy ran towards me, jumped on top of me, was trying to choke me out. Then there was another time where my youngest daughter, you were inside Mommy's stomach. And my middle daughter, you were laying down in bed, sleeping. Hopefully you slept through that. Because it was the most awful thing that ever happened to me in my life. Your mom decides that she wants to come at me, start swinging at me, trying to punch me and hurt me, trying to get me to hurt her, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't hurt her. I couldn't do it. She was pregnant, and she had a possibility of having blood clots. And so I restricted myself from harming her. I restricted myself from actually physically defending myself. Now, that state is a stand your ground state, and it could have gotten very ugly. I'll just put it that way. But your mom doesn't ever talk about that. Do you know why? Because then she would lose her nursing license. She's just out to make me look like I'm a deadbeat dad. But based on all the physical violence that she put towards me and she did to me, I did not feel safe in that state. She kept victimizing me, throwing me in jail for things that I clearly wasn't guilty of. She would find any kind of reason to justify throwing me in jail whenever it was not necessary at all. And now your mom doesn't contact me, even though I have tried several times. And she doesn't contact my mom. As far as I understand, she doesn't contact anybody in my family at all. Because if I was to come back into your life, the truth would come out about her being a liar, about her being a drug addict, and about her neglecting the fact that I raised you, both of you. And I wonder, what kind of person does that? She didn't do it to protect you. She was doing it to hurt me. And from doing that, she hurt you. I'm not proud of it. Having to fight for you made me so sick that I was in the hospital the day that I was supposed to show up to court. And she had done nothing but sin and lied about me. She wouldn't tell the truth about me. She would only lie about me to make sure that I was never in your life ever again. But only because I had caught her from stealing drugs from the hospital that she works at. But she'll never admit that to you. Neither one of you. And I love you two very much. And to my oldest, I love you very much too. And if it was up to me, I would be in all three of your lives every day. There wouldn't be a day that would go by that I wouldn't be in your lives. But unfortunately, they didn't want it to be that way. And I pray, please, please do not end up like your mothers. Please do not do this to a man. A man who loves you, who wants to be in your kids' lives. Never do this to him. Never abandon him. If he's never hit you before, and he's done nothing but love you and tried to be there for you, don't do this to him, please. You are much better than your mom. Both of you are so much smarter than your mom. You're very intelligent beings. And because of that is why I'm being so raw and honest with you right now. Because she won't. Neither one of them will. And I'm embarrassed by that, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they're being like that towards you. That they're lying to you. That they're probably making you hate me. Probably saying things about me or just not saying anything at all about me. But you deserve to know me. You deserve to have me in your life. Every parent deserves to have their kid in their lives, and every kid deserves to have their parents, not just one parent in their lives. Now, some people have done bad things, and you could say, yeah, that shouldn't be, they should not be in their kids' lives if they're like that. But however, I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing to harm you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I had to run away and protect myself from your mom to my youngest two. I'm sorry. I don't know else how to say I'm sorry, because this is a large part of this is not my fault. It's the way the world works right now. And it favors the abuser. The abuser can get away with so much right now. Please do not become an abuser. Please do not abuse your baby daddies. Or baby daddy. Hopefully just one. And I'm sorry for the strange men that are in your life because of this. But remember, that's not my fault. That wasn't my choice. I didn't make that choice. They made that choice for you. And me. They victimized me and brutalized me until that was what your life is now is. And they have stacked things against me that just aren't true, or have hidden themselves from me in such a way, and have made it out to where I am not safe around your mom. Or I just can't contact your mom. And they have no interest in contacting me. So hopefully, by the time you do get this, you will understand what I mean. And hopefully this gets to the right people, because what happened and what's happening right now, still to this day, I'm being harassed by people I don't even know, that your mom is speaking to. She'd rather speak to people who are sick in the head, who are being predators, stalkers towards me. She'd rather talk to them instead of work things out with me. And I will just leave it at that. I love you very much, all three of you. Whether you're my daughters or not, because we have not had a paternity test to prove it, I still love you. And I'd love for me to be able to take care of you, to be in your lives. It would be great and amazing. We would have wonderful times, and it hurts to know that I can't be there for you. And this is all I can do. Be some talking head in a box. It hurts. It's hard to swallow. It's a pill that's very hard to swallow. I love you, and I am so sorry that this is happening. But please, whatever you do, do not think less of them. That's still your mom. However, you deserve to know the truth, which is they don't want me in your lives. And they'd rather hurt me in an effort to selfishly serve themselves. They would rather neglect me and you of me. They would rather hurt you by trying to hurt me. That's what I'm trying to say. But hopefully this is good for you to be able to hear this from me and to see my face finally. Hopefully somebody shows this to you. Hopefully you get to see this. Because it's been rather difficult. This whole thing, all these years, this is not easy not being able to see you. This is not easy not knowing if I'm going to be okay the next day because of what your mom wants to do to me, or if I'll still be around by the time you're old enough to make your own decision to come and see me. I don't know. But they have done everything within their power to make my life miserable. But still, I stay strong for you three. Because one day I know you will come and you will try to find me. You would try to be in my life. You would try to figure out the truth. And you would try to get to know me again. God, I feel so much better. I want you to know that Daddy loves you very much. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter what they've lied and told you, Daddy loves you very much. And nothing is ever going to change that. Nothing will change how much I love you. Thank you.